Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dennis and today we're diving deeper in the Band-Maid. I was finishing some stuff around the house that kind of needed to be done, yard work and stuff like that, but I was listening to a lot of Band-Maid and I kept stopping and reading the lyrics after I heard certain verses because I was trying to get more of a grasp on each song and what they represent, and plus the help with my learning Japanese. But I noticed that they, despite the innocent look and the outfits and everything, they got some pretty crazy lyrics and sometimes some pretty provocative lyrics. I was like, damn. Yeah, so I've been interested to get more into them. A lot of you said I should check out this documentary by Ohrenje, and I was kind of hesitant at first just because when a fan makes a documentary, there's a lot of personal bias that usually goes into it, and I usually don't engage with that sort of stuff. I'd rather just get it from them directly if I could, but I appreciate that they took the time to put these together so that, you know, the layperson can get more information on each member and get to know them better. So I appreciate that. If you haven't seen Ohrenje's documentaries, I'll leave the link in the description below. If you are on YouTube, just know that you can I'll probably have all 5 up by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, because it will take I will have to edit through this. So if you want to see the rest of them, we can check out my Patreon. That link will be also in the description below. But yeah, with that said, we're going to do it in order. And Saiki's first. So please don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here. Appreciate it so much. Let's get going. Saiki. Oh, God.
Welcome to Kofu, the capital city of Yamanashi Prefecture, where Saiki was born on February 8th. Known for its proximity to Mount Fuji and its grapes and wines, Yamanashi is mostly covered by forests. This is the beautiful landscape where Saiki spent her childhood with her mother and stepfather, as her parents are divorced. Her mother was born and raised in Osaka, and Saiki describes her as a person who doesn't hold anything back and could be very aggressive. Her stepfather wasn't really a father figure in Saiki's education, as her mother took responsibility for this role as well.
Wow.
Saiki was a very shy child who couldn't leave her mother's knees, but forced herself to go to school anyway. As her mother loved to drink with her friends, Saiki spent a lot of time in bars called izakaya, a snack bar in Japan where you can drink a lot and talk loud. Try to picture a shy young girl eating dinner in the middle of a group of her mother's friends while they drank alcohol. Saiki had a very funny and lively childhood.
Okay, any of you who grew up even partially in the 80s and early 90s know that was kind of the norm. You know, you took your kids to your bowling night, you took your kids to bars with you, and I remember my parents always having parties, and my dad's friends being over, and we'd be trying to sleep, and the smoke would be so thick that our eyes were burning, and it's just a rite of passage, I guess. But I was looking for cities outside of Tokyo because I'm considering moving to Tokyo. Not Tokyo, but yeah, outskirts of Tokyo. I'm considering moving to Japan in the next 5 years, so I've been looking at a lot of different cities, and this is one that I have not looked at yet. Having a view of Mount Fuji every day would be amazing. Okay. Sorry, I just had to interject.
She spent a lot of time singing at the karaoke, as her mother kept asking her to sing various types of songs. Songs to cry to, like Nada So So by Rimi Natsukawa. Or more poppy songs like Butterfly by Kouda Kumi. At first, Saiki sang because she was asked to. But after being praised by her mother and her friends, Saiki kept singing again and again, learning more songs and listening to different types of music. Listening to Kouda Kumi led Saiki to discover Namie Amuro, a famous Japanese singer, dancer, and model who's been referred to as the queen of Japanese pop. Saiki became a huge fan of Namie Amuro and decided to take dancing lessons when she was around 8 or 9 to become just like her idol. She talked about the kind of Namie fan she was in the second episode of the radio show called Band-Maid Nippon, a 20-minute regular radio show that aired during the pandemic on Nippon Broadcasting System, a sister company of Band-Maid's label Pony Canyon.
私の人生を変えた一曲は、安室奈美恵さんのファンキータウンです。
ああ、もうね、サイちゃんといえば。
コバト
っていうぐらいこう
そうだね。
ほー。
さん
大好きだったね。
大好き。
もうだって
私の神様だと思っています。
すごかったんだから安室さんが引退を発表した時。
恥ずかしい。
もう忘れられないあれは。バンドメイドのツアー直前のゲネ最終の投資リハーサルみたいなのをやってる時に、お昼のニュースかなんかで確か流れたんですよね。で練習というかリハーサル中のちょっとした休憩の合間時間に、そのニュースを見たサイちゃんは椅子普通に座ってたのに崩れ落ちたからね。座ってたのに立ってたわけじゃないの。崩れ落ちて叫んだから。
叫んだ。
みんなでどうしたのって嘘だそうちょっともうやばーいなんですよね。で泣いてた。でごめんなさい、もう今日はできませんってやったよ。やったけど一旦もうちょっと私今日はもうできないですって
10分は休ませてもらった。
そうだね、ちょっと一旦それでがっつり休憩にしましょうって
ちょっと気持ちの整理させてください。
もう本当に崩れ落ちてたとね。
そうぐらい好きなです。安室奈美恵さんのことが。はい。
Saiki's mother.
Does that mean Miku talks like that all the time? She's always interjecting "oh" in all her sentences, like even when they're not, recording. Wow. Miku Kubato. Ay ay ay.
Often asked her to audition, but at that time, Saiki thought it would be impossible for her to pass an audition and actually become someone who can sing and dance like her idol, Namie Amuro. And then one special day, on her birthday, Saiki asked to go to Tokyo to take a look at life in the big city. It was during this trip to Tokyo that Saiki was scouted by a talent agency named Rising Production. But it was not just any talent agency. Rising Production also managed Namie Amuro. At first, Saiki worked as a model. You can see pictures from a photo shoot she did with Jimmy Ming Shum in November 2012. Then, she was asked about what she would like to do. Of course, Saiki brought up singing. So, she took singing lessons. The agency also asked her about acting lessons, and even though she wasn't really interested in acting, she agreed in order to have more opportunity in the future. When she was in high school, Saiki traveled between Yamanashi and Tokyo on the weekend for her singing lessons. She was on the right path to become a professional singer and dancer.
I heard, I don't remember where I heard it from, but I heard a lot of band frontmen or front women, the ones who are always out there, the really, really, really good ones with that have this crazy stage presence, they usually performed in theater or took some sort of acting lessons just to have that better, you know, stage presence and to make a connection with audiences. So it makes sense. I think I would if I was, if, you know, I was going to be the lead, not lead performer, but if I was going to be the one out front and center all the time, I would definitely take some sort of lessons to kind of get me more comfortable with just speaking in front of crowds of people.
Through those singing lessons, Saiki learned a lot about how to sing
Love those
properly,
Jordans.
louder, and also how to move while singing. When you sing, it's important to express yourself with gestures, but Saiki was still very shy. She used to sing while standing still. But the years of dancing lessons did give Saiki a good sense of rhythm, and those singing lessons helped her to overcome her shyness. Saiki started to show signs of the strong, confident, and mesmerizing singer that we know of today.
Damn it.
During
Sorry. I had to.
Saiki's life since her trip to Tokyo.
That
After
song's
joining
coming
Rising
up,
Productions,
so
Saiki was scouted by Platinum Passport
rather go blind.
during one of her singing lessons. This is when she decided to move to Tokyo to focus on her career. Saiki appeared briefly in a commercial for Taisho Pharmaceutical. You can also see her dancing in a music video for the singer May J. Saiki was an actress in the B team of Go Jet Go Go Zero, a musical comedy where she played the role of Meg, the sister of the lead character. She was in the cast between June 26th and July 3rd, 2013. That's not all. Between August 13th and 19th, Saiki performed in a play called Night of the Blue Moon, where she had the role of a nurse. Saiki has always been a fan of trains, which is pretty common in Japan. She likes to take photos and visit museums like the Kyoto Railway Museum, where she went in 2016. Saiki considers herself amongst the photographers when it comes to talk about trains.
I have heard stories about this, about these Japanese people that have this love for trains, and they go to museums all over the country and look at the old trains and all that. It reminds me so much of what we do here, because I was born and raised in Detroit area. There's a huge car following, like, and there's an obsession with old cars, and there's car shows every weekend, and we're right by, I'm only a couple minutes from Henry Ford Museum, where they have all those, they have the bunch of Model Ts and stuff like that. But I just thought that makes sense, though, when you're biggest and best transportation system has such a storied history, you're going to have people that just absolutely love it and gravitate to it. It's just the same as we are here and with the auto industry. But I had heard about these train lovers in Japan, but I didn't know I didn't think Saiki would be a part of it. That's really cool though. It's really cool. And plus I know a lot of Japanese are very very, very good at honoring history and all those that came before. So it's cool when someone finds a passion like that and can, follow it and study it and learn everything you can about it.
Train enthusiasts. There is also something else that's very present in Saiki's daily life. And it's the only other topic you can see on her X account. The Japanese baseball team, Hanshin Tigers. Saiki is a huge fan of this team, and she's supported them for a long time. She reposts every victory, and sometimes she just posts about them. She even talked about the Hanshin Tigers on the radio with a show she hosted with Miku in 2021.
2025年にですね、阪神タイガースの2軍の本拠地が現在の鳴尾浜球場から小田南公園へと移転されます。知ってました？
知らなかったです。
メイン球場は3階建てで、すごい。客席は約3600席。内野は
Oh, they must be like a lower division team, like I know Nippon League has minor leagues as well. That must be one of the teams because I had never heard of them before. I've heard of most of the teams in the Nippon League. Huh. Oh, and of course, woman who loves baseball. Respect.
年芝です。頑張れ阪神タイガースという私の気持ちです。
なるほど、お気持ちありがとうございます。
If you really follow Saiki on Instagram, you know that she loves taking photos, where she poses with various types of clothes, along with photos of her shoes and nails. Talking about shoes, you can find videos of Saiki showing a room full of sneakers in a series called Nature, available for Omesu-sama members. Saiki.
She's a sneakerhead too? Wow, that explains the Jordans that I saw in the opening. Woo. Not much of a shoe person, but I appreciate it.
She is also one of the main models when it comes to feature Band-Maid clothes for the official website. On July 24th, 2013, a rock band called Band-Maid performed for the first time at Otsuka Deepa in Tokyo. This band consisted of 4 members: Konami on guitar, Akane on drums, Misa on bass, and Kabato Miku, the founder of the band, on vocals. Band-Maid performed 2 more times at Shibuya Milky Way on August 13th and at the Vunos in August 16th, before realizing that Miku's voice alone wouldn't be enough for her band. The management started to look for a lead vocalist within the agency. The profile of a young new talent who'd moved from Yamanashi came up. She had taken dancing lessons for a few years along with singing lessons from her previous and current agency. She'd also done some acting here and there, but she always wanted to become a professional singer. Her name was Saiki.
Sorry, I know we're not doing music reactions, but Konami's guitar riff in that was fucking sick. Damn.
Saiki was first contacted because her profile fit what the band was looking for.
Let me know what song that is. Thank you.
She was asked to come sing and listen to the songs planned for the band without being informed. that she would have to perform in a special outfit. On Saiki's first audition, none of the members were there, only the agency president, songwriters, and manager. They explained the project in detail. She listened to the music written for the band, and even though she really liked it, Saiki was not really sure if she could sing these kinds of songs. But the management team told Saiki her voice was great and was a perfect fit in the band. As she wanted to sing more and was ready to participate in any audition that could offer her a job in this area, Saiki accepted the offer and officially joined Band-Maid.
Oh my.
Saiki still had
I'm so pissed that they put that whole section in there. It kind of ruined that performance for me. Because I wanted to see the whole performance, but that was... Those two, man, they're something else. They are so gifted. When they had that showing Misa's hand on the bass, I'm like, holy crap, man. It makes my carpal tunnel just start flaring up when I see shit like that. That was nuts.
to meet the other 4 members, but she didn't meet them all at once.
最初は茜だったかな。彼女についてはとにかく明るい人という印象で、すごく明るくて素敵と思いましたね。なんで最初に茜と会ったかというと、私の最初の衣装を作ることになった時、当時はみんなと似たようなメイド服の衣装だったんですけど、彼女の衣装を元に作るのがバランス的にいいだろうということになったみたいで、お互い身長も一緒だし、体重も近かったので、一回これを着てみてみたいな感じで、まず茜の衣装を着てみたんです。それで、ああ、ここをちょっと直せばいけるね、みたいな感じになって、すぐにできたんですよ。ただ、私その時点ではまだそれがメイド服だって分かってなかったんです。というか、エプロンとか小物がないとただの黒いワンピースに見えるわけですよ。しかも袖がない。いわゆる可愛い感じの衣装じゃなかったんですね。
かわいい。
ただ、なんかフレアの幅が広いよなぐらいには思ってましたけど。そして後日衣装ができたら、付属品みたいなのがいろいろついてきて、それをつけてみたら、メイド服やんと気づいて、そこで改めて小鳩とか金見の衣装を見て、ああ、バンドメイドのメイドってそれなのねって、ようやく理解したんです。それはどうあれ、とにかく茜の第一印象はいろいろ親切にしてくれる明るいお姉さんでした。次に会ったのがミサで、
Yeah, my first thought was if she's a shy, more reserved person, I don't think Miku Kobato is the best person to meet first because she's very high energy and she's very talkative, and that would probably overwhelm her a bit. I know I get overwhelmed when I get introduced to really high energy people. I let them go, let them talk, let them say what they gotta say, and I just kind of, so introducing her to Akane first was probably a way of easing her in and saying, all right, you're gonna meet Miku Kobato last because she's a lot. So we just want to prep you for that, so she doesn't scare you away. I know people that are shy and generally apprehensive about doing certain things. When they get when I get around those type of people, I tend to shy away and just kind of try to make myself smaller. Whereas if I know those people, it's like you feed off that energy and it feels good. It's just when you're meeting new people, it can be a lot of times.
彼女とはなんとなく気が合うんだろうなみたいな感じがして、好きそうなものが似てそうだよなと思いました。初めて会ったのは5人での初お給仕の前日、スタジオでのリハーサルの時でした。そこでみんなと、はじめまして、よろしくお願いします、みたいな。
はじめまして。
その時の休憩時間にミサと話したのかな。彼女は人見知りなんだろうなってすぐわかりました。自分と似た匂いを感じたからなんですけど。だからなかなか会話が始まらないです。茜の場合はすごく気を使ってくれるというか、人見知りを察知するのが早いんです。だからすぐに話を振ってくれるんですよ。
Okay, that makes
放っておくと
sense.
私は喋らないから、最近はどう思うみたいに、本当に優しい人だなと思いましたね。そしてミサに対しては、この人もめちゃくちゃ人見知りだ。気持ちはわかるぞーと。初対面の時はちょっとした挨拶程度だったんですよ。お疲れ様ですみたいな。話をしたのはレコーディングの時だったんですけど、私にとってはスタジオ見学のようなものだったので、ああ、レコーディングってそうやるんですねとか話していた気がします。第一印象としては目の大きな人だなーってしばらくするととても真面目できちんとした人なんだなと気づかされました。何かの時にさようでございますかって言葉が聞こえてきて、そんな言葉遣いする人これまで私の周りにはいなかったぞと、めちゃくちゃ丁寧な感じで働き慣れてる人みたいなイメージがありました。社会人っぽいというか、真面目な学校に通ってたのかしらという印象でしたね。
Or just naturally gifted.
初めて会ったのはそのリハーサルスタジオの時なんですよね、きっと。私が正確に覚えてないだけかもしれないけど実際本当に私が覚えてないだけみたいで、去年本人からその前に佐伯を見てるよって言われて怖っと思って知らないうちに影からオーディションされてたんだって。マネージャーと一緒にちらっと見に行ったことはあったんだよと。そりゃそうですよね。身なりぐらいは見ておかないと。私的にはお給仕前日のスタジオで会った時が初遭遇だったんですけど、その時はなんかちっちゃい子が来たなぁと思って、これまた私の学校にはいなかったタイプだなぁとその時点で思いましたもん。何この5人ってなんでここにこの5人が集まってるのって最初から疑問でした。今も疑問最初小鳩に対してはキャラ強って思いましたね。濃ゆいなこの人、独自のキャラがもうすでにあるって。他の3人についても癖強めというか濃いめだとは思っていて、でも同時に私自身はもっとそう見られているんだろうなと思っていたので、最近になってそのことを言いました。絶対そう思ってたでしょって、みんな素直に認めてましたマジで無理って思ったとか言ってましたね、小鳩は。マジでどうしようって悩んだよって
These 5 members
Makes
are
sense.
really unique and really different, but they all be
That if that's an actual quote from Konami, that makes sense. Because according to the things you guys have told me, she has an insane IQ, like genius level IQ. So that does make sense. And I never know. She doesn't really have big eyes. They're not that big anyway. I didn't notice how tall Akane and Saiki are. Wow. Oh, yeah, that just made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, just there's people that when they get really focused, you can hear their vocabulary expand. And some people, when they feel overwhelmed, you feel the vocabulary shrink. And I've experienced both. I'm not saying I'm not a genius or anything, but I've heard genius level people and really, really, really intelligent people, just when they hone in on something, the vocab changes and the feel around them changes. Like, let them be, they'll be fine. But it's just another sign of how gifted she is, Konami is. But I wouldn't say I'm similar to Saiki. It maybe just the personality and the shyness when it comes to meeting new people and things like that. But I think I would have been a bit overwhelmed, because it seems like they all have very drastically different personalities. I don't know. Never know. I think if I would have met and spent a few days with Akane, who was a more patient and understanding, and that, not saying that they're all not that, but I think that's why they did that first. But if I was to meet her and spend a few days with her, I'd probably feel more comfortable going forward. Especially if you got like a little bit of a warning, you're kind of ready for that, and it makes the whole interaction a little easier. That doesn't work for everybody, though.
Became very close friends over the years. Although, it was not that easy for Saiki. Saiki has a very shy personality, so it was hard for her to open up and talk to her new bandmates. From the beginning, Akane already knew Konami and Misa, so there was a connection between those three. Miku, being very friendly and sociable, had no trouble fitting in with the new trio. But when Saiki joined BANDMAID, the other four had already performed live and spent time together. So for someone as timid as Saiki, it took a while to fit in. She gave her opinion when asked, but the communication was very limited during the first months. Saiki also had a lot to learn as a lead singer, as she had no experience when it came to concert setup or even singing on stage with a band. She didn't know how to wrap her mic cable or do a mic check, and even what a joint concert was. Of course, she went to a lot of concerts, but only for that one band she wanted to see before leaving the venue. Saiki also struggled to sing with all the noise of her bandmates' instruments on stage, as she didn't wear in-ear monitors when she started to sing with BANDMAID.
That'd be distracting.
Saiki performed her first concert with BANDMAID on August 22nd at Shibuya AX in Tokyo. Right after this concert, Saiki got rid of the apron that was attached to her outfit. It took about 6 months for Saiki to get used to being in a band and learn how to manage her setup for the concerts. This timing was perfect, because on February 8th, 2014, on Saiki's birthday, BANDMAID performed their first one-man concert. After the success of Thrill, BANDMAID played more concerts, and Saiki found herself singing more than she was prepared for. Even though she took singing lessons for a few years, Saiki's vocal technique was still very limited. And during her debut, she wasn't as cautious about how she sang. Around the time BANDMAID recorded Alone, Saiki was being helped by a vocal coach to improve her singing skills, but it was already too late. Between 2015 and 2017, her throat suffered to the point where her voice became half as powerful as it was when she joined BANDMAID. At one point, she couldn't even record an entire song the same day. She had to rest a few days between takes to ensure that she didn't lose her voice for good. Even forced to speak in whispers for a while, and used her voice only for singing. Terrified by the idea of having to rely on surgery, she tried everything to avoid it, but finally realized that she would not be able to sing anymore if she waited any longer. In the summer of 2017, she finally gathered her courage and went through with vocal cord polyp surgery. Saiki was completely without a voice for a week, and then she wasn't allowed to sing for a month right after the surgery. She wrote a tweet to reassure everyone who'd been following her. With the help of her vocal coach, who had experience with this kind of surgery, and a lot of training, Saiki is now able to sing even better than before, and has improved her technique while learning how to properly care for her voice. You can see Saiki taking care of her throat during MCs when she's drinking low-quat syrup, or even after the show, where she's using a stainless steel ice bottle to keep her throat cool. Saiki's voice changed a...
Wow. That's crazy. Did she do that? Did she do that from just pushing her vocal cords too far without proper technique or anything like that, and proper maintenance? Because I know maintenance is super important for your vocal cords, and singers usually talk a lot about how they take care of their voice and how they make it stronger and try to ensure that they don't cause damage like that. But polyps on your vocal cords would be rough. But I thought when they said the recovery was a week without speaking or something, and then a month without singing, I was like, well, hey, that's not that bad. But then you think about, this is her livelihood, this could jeopardize her the rest of her life and change everything about any future plans or things like that. I'd be freaking out too. Especially if I had, 4 other people who are deeply committed and relying on me. Yeah, I'd be, wow. That's rough. Whew.
A lot over the years, always improving, becoming more powerful with a wider range.
I fucking love that. I never heard this song, but I was listening closely because I was listening to everything. I was trying to digest everything, but I just kept hearing Misa's bass, and then Konami's guitar kind of creeps in and just punches you in the face. It's like, oh yeah. And her riffs, man, she's got some of the sickest guitar riffs ever. And Misa's bass riffs are just, they kind of lull you into this comfort, and then Konami comes in and just starts ripping you to pieces. It's awesome.
There are always more to do in a band than just play your instrument. There's writing songs, lyrics, and being involved in the whole process. Saiki wrote lyrics here and there along with Miku since the release of Band-Maid in 2016. But she's started to write more by herself, as she's the one who's credited for lyrics on Corellium. Hey. And Machi. Saiki actively participates in other activities around Band-Maid, like helping design clothes and giving ideas for the covers of Band-Maid CDs. At first, Miku was the spokesperson of the band, while Saiki used to stay in the background. Miku was the one who talked the most during media appearances and put on a show during MCs. But since the pandemic, Saiki took a step forward and became, with Miku, part of the front image of Band-Maid. They talked together during the Band-Maid Nippon radio show and all other radio appearances. Saiki has also become more active during MCs and started to talk from her heart with the fans. After a time, Saiki came to realize that of all the maids, she had the best view of the stage, as she was free to roam as she focused on her singing. Saiki was the one who started to talk to the other members about moving around the stage, interacting more with the crowd, and making each concert even more special.
常に驚かせたいっていうのがありますね。ハッとさせられたり、ゾクッとさせられたりっていうのは本気の生理現象だと思うし、そういうのを伴った時の方が記憶に残るんじゃないかなと思っていて、だから結局自分たちのことが相手の記憶に残っていってほしいのかな。忘れないでほしいというか、一回見たらもう忘れられないねみたいな、そういうのを目指しているところがあるのは確かですね。
Nice. I wish all bands did that, because there's a lot of bands that just come out, they play their songs, and then that's it. But there's more than quite a few bands that they do things that they know you're never gonna forget. For as long as you live, you're gonna remember that moment that they did something. And you hear about a lot of bands that do take that into consideration. It's like they are fully aware of the fans and how much money they've invested, how much they are a part of the success that got them to this point. So they try to give back when they're live, give them those memories, those moments to have. And it's so cool. I think that's the majority of music in general. I think that's what should be about. It's like with everything, it's give and take. But it's cool when there's actually forethought into that process to where we got to do something, you know, to honor these fans and everything they've done for us. It's so cool.
Saiki changed a lot with Band-Maid, compared with the shy girl she was when she visited Tokyo for the first time. Scouted on that day by the same agency who managed her idol to become a model and being able to take singing lessons. And then scouted a second time during those lessons by another agency to develop more talents. Saiki performed in a few plays to end up joining an all-female rock band, playing songs far from her repertoire in an outfit that she never really liked. She had to learn everything from scratch to move towards her goal of becoming a professional musician. This shy young girl, who never thought that she could sing and dance for a living, became a confident, talented lead singer with an insane stage presence. Saiki changed so much that even those close to her, including herself, don't even recognize her when she's on stage. Saiki seized an opportunity and took the best of it to evolve into a new version of herself.
Nice.
Surrounded by the best group of friends, she managed to rise to a point where she never thought she could reach. But this ascent is far from over. Saiki and her bandmates have the energy to climb over any mountain in their way, no matter how high. In the end, and against all odds, Saiki is the perfect fit for Band-Maid. The last piece of this miraculous puzzle whose voice resonates across the world.
Sorry, I don't want any more stuff to get spoiled for me. Because I started to see, when they started showing anime clips, I'm like, no, because I'm doing Unleash right after this, so yeah, I didn't want to ruin any of that. But I can still remember the first time I saw Band-Maid, my first reaction to Band-Maid. If you haven't seen that, it'll be listed in the playlist on YouTube. But Saiki, when she's on stage, I thought, well, look at her confidence, look at her, how she's projecting and giving off that energy. I was like, she was probably one of those people that grew up and just felt confident in every situation and never really shied away from things. That was my initial thought. After this, I mean, if it's all true, which I'm sure it is, I hope it is, knowing how shy of a person she was, and it's nice to be able to relate to that, because I sometimes, well, I used to be really, really, really shy. That was when I was younger, though. And that's when I still cared how everyone around me viewed me and thought of me. Like, you're always afraid to do something that embarrasses you, or it'll stick in their memory, like, oh, you know, he's kind of an asshole, or he's kind of a creep, or whatever it is. So I just never said anything because I was always afraid of judgment. But now I'm like, yeah, I don't get embarrassed. I still get shy. That's a lot to do with social anxiety than it is with me and my just parts of my personality. But if I'm in a group of if there's more than like 5 or 6 people there, I will slink down and I'll find a little hole to crawl into, and I'll just chill there. That's my happy place. But less than that, I'm more outspoken, more outgoing. I couldn't imagine being the face of a band. I don't know if I could do that, but I respect the hell out of her for pushing through all that, because I know how hard it is, and gonna have good days, gonna have bad days, gonna have setbacks, gonna have crazy interactions that you want to forget for the rest of your life. But you tried, you made that attempt, and that's how you grow, right? Well, I've been Tony Robbins, and we've been watching Band-Maid documentary Saiki. I'm kidding. I'm not Tony Robbins. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, he's a motivational speaker, self-help guy. But yeah, you guys know that. But yeah, thank you so much for recommending this. I feel like I know a ton more about all of them. I mean, it's not just Saiki, but it's been very eye-opening and very interesting. If there are any inaccuracies in this, please let me know, so that I'm not taking it all as gospel, just FYI. Special thanks to Ohrenje for doing this. I mean, this had to take a long time to put together, but it's very well done. And I appreciate the hard work and the commitment. I really do. So, if you guys haven't, go over and subscribe to Ohrenje. Give a thumbs up to this video, so help them out, because this is some good work. And yeah, while you're at it, subscribe to me and give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you want to see more, you can check out my Patreon. I'll probably have the next 4 up. I know Konami's next, and I'm excited for that one. I keep saying Konami. I know it's not Konami, like the video game company. It's Konami. Okay. I'm a stickler for pronunciation. Well, mostly because I am learning Japanese, so pronunciation is very, very, very important. Okay. I'm correcting my own pronunciation now, so that's where we're going to finish this. But thank you guys so much again for recommending this, and as I said, Konami's will be coming next week, if you're interested, Patreon, blah, blah, blah. I said all this already. See? Okay. I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Matane.